To embed this into your Canvas page, you're going to copy the embed code from the iframe generator. Back on your Canvas page, hit Edit. In the rich text editor, you're clicking the picture of the cloud that says Embed. Then you paste your embed code and click Submit. Now you can see that the website is embedded directly into Canvas. When I click Save, students can now read this website or this poem within Canvas, and you're not sending them outside of Canvas to read it. However, I do recommend that you include some introductory text so that students know exactly what you are asking them to do within this content. I have given you some sample text in the slideshow. Now students know exactly what you're asking them to do with this content. The other thing that I recommend is that you provide a link to the original source within the text as well. That way, if something happens, something messes up with this embed code, they still have the original website from which you grabbed this material. And remember, you always want to embed hyperlinks within the text. To do that, you highlight the text that you want to embed the hyperlink into. I'm going to italicize this because it's a title. I can click the picture of the chain link, or there's a shortcut, Control-K or Command-K if you're using a Mac. This is an external link. I will paste the link and click Done. Now, when I save the page, students have clear instructions on what you would like them to do. They have access to the poem, and if for some reason they want to view it full screen, they can click this link and it will open in a new window. If you realize you've made a mistake, perhaps you put the wrong poem in here, or this isn't the page that you wanted this material to be displayed upon, to remove that iframe, you click Edit. You're going to access the HTML code. Click the brackets at the bottom of the editor. You are looking for the start of the iframe and the end of the iframe. So this is the start with the bracket that says iframe. The end is where you have the slash and then the iframe. You will highlight from the beginning to the end and then click Delete. Then when you go back to the editing view, you can see that that iframe is no longer displayed, and you can save your page. This is an example of a web page that does not allow embedding. It's the New York Times website, and you'll see when I try to embed it into the page, I get an error, and it does not display properly. It is refusing to connect to the New York Times website. Remember that sometimes you can access material through one of the library databases that might allow you to embed the material. Instead, here's an example. This is from the U.S. Major Dailies database. It is material from the New York Times, but it is now embedded within the content page in Canvas. And because students have logged into Canvas, it should seamlessly take them to the database page. But again, I would recommend putting that introductory text so that if students need to view it in a different window, they might be prompted to log in with their WID and their single sign-on password, and then they will have access to the material. What you have essentially done here is linked to the original source, and that is a better option than embedding the video, in this case, just by itself, or if you were to find this poem and copy and paste it and put it into your Canvas page. The reason that it is better for students is that if any changes were made to the original source, perhaps the editors of Poetry Foundation discover that they've made a mistake in here. When that is updated, that update automatically pushes through to Canvas because it is just pulling the web page into Canvas. The other reason it's better for students is that they have access to this original source. In this case, they also have access to the transcript of this particular video. They have access to the citation tools for this particular video. And there are a lot more tools and accessibility options when you are linking to something as opposed to copying and pasting and putting material directly into your Canvas page. It is not a violation of copyright because essentially it's the same thing as if you were linking to the material. You are not making any changes to this material. You are just displaying it within Canvas in its original form.